What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge. I'm your host, Allan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you this Saturday. But as always, before we get to today, let's take a look at how we did on Friday. And woof, not great at all. Look, 0 for 2 for me. I have had 2 bad days back to back. I'm not going to say that we're not used to it, but I mean, not kind of used to it, so we got to fix ourselves. So I'm going to take the lumps here for the squad. Look at the Maestro, though, coming through. Mariners money line and the Royals. Zach Activity split there. That was solid. EC having a 2 out of 3 day, so shout out to him, man, for sure. Speaking of shout outs here, we have CBS Sports HQ today and tonight. Well, really just today for the Early Edge crew. 12 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Kitty White, Emery Hunt, breaking down Major League Baseball, the entire slate for today, not to mention the NFL, getting you ready for the season coming up in the NFL preseason games today. So make sure 12 p.m. Eastern, tune in. You can do that through the Paramount Plus app, CBS Sports app, or cbssports.com/live. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be fired up. But what I'm fired up for now is to bring the stars of the show and get this thing going. Because like I said, look, unfortunately, I put you all in a bad spot because now we have to dig ourselves out of the problems that I created. So I'm really just creating weekend issues for you. But you know what? I see nods on the heads. Everybody feels like they're popped up. Kins, how you feeling about that? And nice dog's hat there.
Thank you. Tons of Bulldogs across the NFL preseason board today. So I'm excited about that. I got a couple plays for all of them.
Nice. Well, I was going to say, I mean, you guys have had 38 first-round picks over the last 2 years, so that's got to be nice. They're going to be getting going. PropStarz, what's up, man?
What's up, baby? What's up, guys? I'm fired up. Amags and I have been chatting pre-stream. Absolutely love his picks. Also, I am so stoked. NFL season 26 days away. Drop your favorite 26s in the chat. Shout out Clinton Portis. Shout out Saquon Barkley. Shout out to the Hall of Famer Rod Woodson. Some very good 26s that have played in the NFL, guys. I'm fired up today.
Nice, dude. Those are some solid 26s. And Mags, look, I don't know how you're dealing with that energy through the text. I mean, Props had to be fired up this morning.
Oh, yeah. No, he's fired up. I'm fired up. We were talking about some props already. And shout out to some of the folks in the chat already saying what's up. I some friendly faces over here that we see, I think, every single Saturday. And I've seen them on my Twitter Spaces that we do right after this. So if you haven't come and hung out with us yet, come over to Twitter Spaces right after the show's over and we'll talk some MLB props.
Yeah, I was going to say, all right, so Twitter Spaces, that's legitimately like right after the show, correct?
Yeah, I usually like 15 minutes or so after we end, I'll start around like 10:45 or something, run it for 30 minutes to an hour, just whatever questions you guys have, you put them in the comments of the tweet, you can hop in and talk if you want to, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. I'll give you a little bit of rundown what I think of whatever prop you're looking at.
I like it, man. I like it. I'll tell you what, speaking of that, let's jump right into our marquee matchup for today. And I've got some fun games for you. Obviously, we're going to hit home runs. But first, let's play a little parlay special, all right? I'm going to put 3 parlays on the screen, and I want each of you to select which one you like the best. So let me get it up here, and I'll read it out, okay? First off, all right, Shohei Ohtani, 2+ total bases, and the Angels team total over 3.5 pays plus 175. All right, number 2, and this is for game 1. The Braves-Mets are in a doubleheader today, all right? Matt Olson to hit a home run. Braves team total over 3.5 pays out plus 205. All right. Last one. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, both 2+ total bases. Dodgers team total over 3.5 pays out plus 275. All right. So I'll pull it back down, bring you guys up. Mags, lead off hitter on this, man. What are you looking at?
It's tough to bet against Matt Olson right there at plus 205, plus 200, whatever it is. I do like that one. I also give a little bit of an honorable mention, I guess I would say, to the Freddie Freeman Mookie Betts one. I do like the Dodgers, and I'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I saw one of your picks coming through, I wanted to get on it, but you jumped on it first, and it was a smart call. Well, let's see, Kins, what are you thinking here? What do you like?
I'm going to go with our Braves parlay. Given the way this game went yesterday, I like the odds of Matt Olson and this team total over.
Yeah, it should be nice. The Mets could be a little bit of a mess pitching-wise in game 1, going with, the relief look here. And who knows how long that's going to last, how long and when they go to the pin there. It could be an interesting one for sure. PropStarz, what are you looking at, buddy?
Freddie Freeman has been on an absolute tear recently. I think he's going to certainly. I mean, he's the odds on the second favorite right now in the MVP race. I think it could end up being a pretty tight race if he keeps up this torrid pace that he is on. So shout out to Freddie Freeman, just been absolutely phenomenal. Love the price there, close to 3-1 odds as well. I do think the Dodgers are actually going to roll on the Rockies. Amags, we're talking about this specific matchup previous to the stream. Rockies pitcher Peter Lambert has just really struggled this season. So I think the Dodgers are going to get after him today.
Yeah, I think that they are too. And it's wild that the Braves traded out, Freddie Freeman or got, moved on, trade for Matt Olson. And I'm not going to say they're the same dude, but like they kind of look alike. You know what I mean? Like it's just fascinating to see how well and how good of a season that they're having. Look, I'm going number 2. I'm going Braves. Surprise. And look, this has nothing to do with any of that. It's about Matt Olson. I think that he has a monster day today. Obviously, pay attention to the walks. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute because Sean Murphy looks to be back in the lineup here. The catcher, backup catcher Travis Tano, looks to be back out of the lineup. So pay attention to that, but we'll talk more about it. Now, let's get to our home runs. But before we do, let's take a quick break and hear from one of our partners. And we are back. All right. Home run props here. All right, we got 5 of them for you. Leave you a little bit on the screen here. Put them all up. First, Matt Olson, plus 200. Kyle Schwarber, plus 275. Aaron Judge, plus 325. Shohei Ohtani, plus 350. And Juan Soto, plus 450. So we'll reverse it here. PropStarz, you're up first. What do you got?
Yeah, great list here, AB. Can't go wrong with a lot of these guys, but I'm going to take the chalk here. I like Matt Olson. Might be a bullpen game, so he could be facing a ton of relief pitchers today. The pitcher who is getting the start, I believe, for the Mets gave up at least 2 home runs in his one start last week against the Braves, only pitching a couple innings. So looks like Matt Olson could have a real shot with all the protection he gets in the lineup as well. So I will take Olson, even though it's plus 200.
Yeah. All right. Quick trivia question. Do you know what his ERA currently sits against the Braves?
Let's go 17.
45. 45. So, yeah, you're exactly right on that. Kids, what are you looking at here?
I'm going to go little process of elimination. I like Olson. I like Schwarber too. Judge hit one yesterday, I believe. I think so. But been kind of cold before that. Otani's been kind of cold. So I'm going to go with Olson or Schwarber here, but I'll go Schwarber.
All right. Nice. Max, what are you looking at?
All right, AB. So I don't dislike the Matt Olson part. I think it's going to be a rough day, for the Mets there. But I think 2 picks here. If I could real quick, I'll touch on 2 guys. Judge, I do think after the home run last night against Alcantara, look, Alcantara's been better at home, been better against righties. That's why I'll take Judge. Just last night he hit one, maybe go against the numbers there. But I do think Juan Soto at the biggest price here is a really solid look. Gallen's been worse against lefties, especially for the home runs. Not only do the D-backs really need this win, but I'm honestly not sure how long they let Gallen go if he starts to get touched up. Then you get into that bullpen for Arizona, which has been the worst in the second half of the season here. I think Juan Soto is a good look, especially at the best odds.
Dude, I was literally about to say the exact same thing. Juan Soto is my pick for sure, plus 450. Look, don't get me wrong. I kind of like all 5 dudes. Like, I think that this is a pretty strong list here for today, but 100% with you. Juan Soto's the guy. There could be a couple, man. Tatis might get off too, man. Like, pay attention to that one. But, yeah, Juan Soto for sure. All right, let's get into our picks for today. But before we do that, let's take one more quick break and hear from one of our partners. And we are back. All right, so, Max, I'm going to come right back at you, man. You usually hit lead off for us here. Go ahead and get us started, buddy. What do we got?
All right, AB. Well, going to that first pick, I already talked a little bit about the Dodgers, and that first pick is on Freddie Freeman. We're going over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got it at plus 105 on DraftKings, and I like staying in the plus money. I know it's 2.5, but I like staying in the plus money for the over here on Freeman. And when you look at Lambert on the other side for the Rockies, look, the last few games here for the Rockies, they've lost the last couple against the Dodgers. It's a weird 4-game set where you're going Thursday to Sunday. So this is, the third game of the series, but it's not the last. And you look at Lambert, and he's going to have to follow up the 2 performances over the last couple of days where I'm not sure, honestly, if he gets help from that bullpen. They may leave him out to dry, especially if he gives up runs early. Freeman should be in that top, 2 right there. You've usually seen him hit 2, so he should stay in the top 2. So I'm not as worried about them being the home team. And Lambert against lefties, I got it here. Lefties, 28 hits in under 20 innings this year for Lambert. It's a 326 average. He's given up 15 walks. That was the only thing I thought maybe don't go to the total bases for Freeman. Stick with the hits, runs, RBIs, because he's given up considerable amount of walks to lefties. So Freeman, if he got, on a couple times by walks, it would hurt you on the total bases. You could still cash a couple of runs at least out of those opportunities. So I like him over 2.5 here. And then I'm going to go to the next pick. I already sent it out on Twitter last night. Hopefully you follow me and you caught it. It's moved since the -130 I got it at last night. This is now Rich Hill over 1.5 walks at -145. I think that's probably the top of what I would play it at. I don't want to touch it at -150. I think maybe just find a different play there. But when you look at Hill, he's going to follow up Blake Snell from last night, who walked 4 of these Arizona batters. And now look, Arizona is 0-9 since we've turned the page to August. They've been brutal. If you want to maybe look at Zach Allen to record a win, if you think that they have to ride him, I don't think that's the worst idea. But we've seen this Padres team maybe start to kick it up a little bit. Juan Soto chewed his teammates out 2 nights ago and said that they've been quitting and it's been sorry efforts. He kind of walked those statements back last night and apologized, but we saw him go out and score double-digit runs. I think that they're motivated. It's a team that is going to go out there and hit. And so I think if you look at Rich Hill on the other side, he probably should last relatively a long amount of time here, I would think, especially if he could get a lead. Arizona, like I said, they walked a bunch last night against the lefty. I think they can continue it. And Hill, he's only been under this number in 5 of 23 starts this year. And then lastly, I'm going to kick it over to my Tony Gonsolin and my other pick here, my Tony Gonsolin strikeouts and the money line. Look, I like the Dodgers a lot on the money line tonight, especially against Lambert. And I'm trying to figure out a way to get the juice down. Look, if you want to go to Tony Gonsolin to record a win, I'm okay with that. I had it around plus 115 this morning. I might even throw a half unit on that if you play this parlay here. But I think the matchup against the Rockies is going to help him get to 5 strikeouts. He's missed this number in 2 straight. But when you look at the matchup against the Rockies, you really should be getting to 5 strikeouts here. They've been a top 3 worst strikeout percentage against right-handed pitchers over the last few weeks. I think that Gonsolin is going to get to that 5 number, and he should last, like I said, long enough to get the win for himself. But at that point, we're only on the hook for the Dodgers to win it all. And I like where they sit against the Rockies.
Nice. Dude, that was a solid breakdown of 3 plays right there.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, dude, get you something to drink. That was a solid breakdown. That was PropStarz-esque right there. Well done on that one. All right, kids, coming over to you because we've got a ton of NFL today. And like you said, we have a ton of Georgia Bulldog all across the board. And the Eagles are playing today too. So you got 2 plays. Bring it down. What do you got?
Yeah, we'll start over on the West Coast, Rams, Chargers. We're going to go with the Rams -3. McVay is confirmed, but Stetson Bennett is expected to play most of the game today. This guy's a winner, as we all know. And he's going up backup quarterbacks Easton Stick and Max Duggan. The Stetson Bennett, Max Duggan movie, I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. I like how it ends. So that really makes me want to take Rams -3. But in all seriousness, McVay said he's taking a different approach to this preseason. He has 40 rookies to figure out. I think they want to keep this game competitive. I think they're really going to use this as a true game to figure some things out. Easton Stick really has been nothing short of underwhelming in the preseason for the Chargers. Duggan is waking up in a living nightmare today. So I think Bennett can absolutely take this Rams team to victory. And then we'll go over to my Eagle Bulldogs, Philly Dogs, whatever you want to call it, and the Ravens. I'm staying away from this 23-0 streak. I really don't know what to make of it. It seems too good to be true. I can't bet against the Eagles, but I will take the over 35.5. You can find that on FanDuel. Some books have it at 36. What you have here is 2 pretty legitimate backup quarterbacks in Marcus Mariota and Tyler Huntley. So I think these guys can keep these offenses to a first-string caliber of play. And if Harbaugh really wants to take this seriously and he really wants this money line win, I think he's going to really have to compete with the Eagles. I like this to go over. You have a new offensive coordinator, another Bulldog and Todd Monken. this is his time to show off his new tricks, show off his new plays. This is a big time of the year for new coordinators. So I think this game goes over 35.5.
Yeah, it's fascinating with the Ravens having won 23 straight preseason games. Like, I mean, that's beyond a trend. Like, John Harbaugh takes these things seriously, right?
Yeah.
And kids, you absolutely nailed it in regards to how to bet on NFL preseason games. We spoke about this on the show 2 days ago, right? Like, it's all about the quarterback depth chart. The Houston Texans have legitimately 2 NFL starters in Davis Mills and Case Keenum. That's why they are going to tear teams up in the preseason, because these are legit quarterbacks. Now, like you just said, right, with Marcus Mariota, he's fighting for his NFL life right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at Tyler Huntley, he might have to start again, right? So it's like, that's a great breakdown right there. Absolutely drilled it. Yeah, 100% on that one. All right, I'm going to go real quick, and then PropStarz, I will get out of your way. And I'll tell you what, I'll leave you right on the screen because I need your karma. All right, I've taken 2 days just right to the head. I'm going right to it. Ronald Acuna over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Look, this is the type of game. Again, I understand that I play the Braves, essentially the top 4 lineups, seemingly every day, but the bets do change. Well, Acuna's doesn't. It's usually set at 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, and it's because not only can he mash, he can wipe out this number with one swing of the bat in the first at bat of the game. But number 2, the Atlanta Braves, and especially over the last week, it's been the back half of their lineup that has been taking care of business, right? Like you've seen guys just 6, 7, 8, 9 getting on base, getting runs, and Ronald Acuna right there at the 1 spot is up with guys on base, which honestly hasn't happened a lot for 4, 5, and 6, right? So that's where we're going to play him. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Number 2, Matt Olson. Now, we're going to switch this up a little bit. 1+ hit, Braves team total over 4.5, -120. All right, I want to take it down, and we spoke about it because Matt Olson, especially when he has Sean Murphy behind him at the catcher position, hitting number 5. Yeah, Sean Murphy is in one of the worst slumps that we've ever seen, and this guy's a former All-Star. Right? Like, that's the crazy part. But the dude just cannot hit. And when Matt Olson gets up to bat, especially if, Austin Riley got a double, whatever, if there's an open base at first, teams are just walking. We had 3 intentional walks the other night until they benched Sean Murphy for Travis Deneau. But looks like Murphy's coming back in. So pay attention to the walks there. Play that if you want to. It's already like -180, which is crazy. It was +120 the other day. So pay attention to that. But 1+ hit, team total over 4.5. Last one. Game 2, so it's a doubleheader tonight. Braves team total over 4.5. Again, they're going to have the advantage here against the pitching matchup in Quintana for the Mets here. So, game 2 tonight, over 4.5.
AB needs a Braves tattoo. Getting out of hand.
I know. The tough part is like the Braves logo looks so much like the Alabama logo, and people get confused and like, what are you doing? You get on the bandwagon 10 years late, man.
When I went to Georgia freshman year, and I didn't really follow MLB at all, and I was like, why are all these Georgia kids wearing Alabama gear? Like, it's a very odd thing to do. And then
then you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I love it. All right, PropStarz. You know what? You both have Philly roots here. Bring us home. I feel the good karma coming for both of you. All 4 of us today. But Props, bring it to us, buddy.
Let's go, AB. Yeah, we're going to attack a total today. I'm going to go under 9.5 runs in the Royals game versus the Cardinals. This is a sneaky, really good pitching matchup. One very good young pitcher, and Cole Reagan's on the mound for Kansas City. If you haven't seen him, I would strongly suggest checking this guy out. Very, very good stuff. He was acquired a few games ago from the Texas Rangers. He's been brilliant since joining the Royals, has an ERA of 1. He's had 3 starts, has looked phenomenal. And then Steven Matz of the Cardinals has also pitched very well. Another left-handed pitcher, more of a seasoned veteran here, but he has an ERA of 1.6 since June 1st. He has been absolutely lights out. I think this number should be 7.5 or 8.5 at the most, and I think runs are going to be hard to come by in this matchup. So we're going to go over 9.5 runs in the Cardinals versus Royals matchup.
Dude, so with Matt's, like, his record is not conducive of like how he's pitched this year. Like it's accurate because it's not a number, but it is not conducive. Like, he has played much better than what that looks like. Now, Props, speaking of that, speaking of you, All right, we'll get to the recap screen in just 1 second. But next week, we have 3 NFL future shows coming to you. Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, Division Conference Super Bowl outright winners. That is going to be the coach, RJ White, and Sia Najad. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, player prop best bets across the NFL for the 2023 season. PropStarz, your man, right there with Coach and Sia Najad. And then Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to go Coach, me, and EC, exotics, team totals, parlays, essentially all the degenerate type of bets that you can get out there. We're going to jump on that. So make sure, set your calendars. You can find them on our YouTube homepage right now. Go ahead and make sure to schedule those notifications. Now, let's get to the recap screen. Here we go. All right. Oh, well, we've got that wrong there. Hold on 1 second. Well, I've lost it. There it is. All right. Sorry. I had the wrong one. I had our existing picks. All right. Max is on. Freddie Freeman over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 105. Dude, that threw me off. Rich Hill over 1.5 walks, minus 135. Tony Gonsolin, 5+ Ks, and the Dodgers money line, minus 115. PropStarz. All right. You're going Cardinals Royals under 9.5, right?
That's right.
Correct. Minus 110. Kids is on. The Eagles Ravens over 35.5 at minus 110. And the Los Angeles Rams. The fighting Sean McVay is out there. Stetson Bennett, the mailman. All right, minus 110. Rams, minus 3. All right, I'm going Ronald Acuna over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, minus 115. Matt Olson, 1+ hit. And Braves team total over 4.5, minus 120. Those are both in game 1. And in game 2, Braves team total over 4.5 at minus 135. All right, so that's all the time we have for today. Anybody have anything fun, anything exciting they're doing today, tomorrow, for the weekend? Max, what up?
Hey, just real quick, I wanted to shout a couple things out from the chat before we go. Somebody want to give Mike Barner a shout out. He is killing it. I've seen him just keep posting. He's on an absolute hot streak. So make sure you're following him if you're not, and you're a SportsLine member, picking up his picks. Betting on game 1 versus game 2 in the doubleheader today. So you can't get props for game 2 usually until game 1 is almost over or over. So look for that. I know we gave some props out there on the Braves game 2. And then make sure that you do follow me on Twitter, because the Rich Hill play I gave out at minus 130 last night, I thought it was going to move, and it did. We saw it's at minus 155 on DraftKings right now. So search around. You may be able to get a better number, but I do think he goes for a second walk today.
Dude, that's a great call on the, game 1 and game 2, taking a look at that. It's fascinating how those play out. You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of splits. But I am fascinated to see what it looks like today, especially in game 2, Jose Quintana there. And I'll just say this, anyone jumping on, all right, the Twitter spaces with Mags, I want someone to ask the question of what it has looked like for Ozzy Albies against Jose Quintana career-wise. Ask him that question and just take a look at the numbers. As soon as those props come out, you might want to jump on that one. All right, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. We will be live normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern, Sunday morning. But until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks.